Listen up, if you don't know these 7 things about fragrances, then you know nothing. Okay, fellas, you are here in the right place. You came to learn about some fragrances, right? Listen up. Yes, fellas, it's your boy Big Beard B, and today I'm going to give you a crash course on fragrances. Yes, I'm the fragrance expert, at least here on this channel. Today, we're going to talk about fragrances, and I've been wearing fragrances for years, so I know a thing or two, and we're going to hop right into it. And when it comes to fragrances, here are 7 things you need to know. So first things first, fragrances are typically made up of 3 components. You have the top notes, you have the mid, and then you also have the base, aka the dry down. Generally speaking, for the top notes, you're going to smell those on the initial spray, on that first blast. Boom! You hit that atomizer and the fragrance comes out. That's generally speaking what you smell. When it comes to the heart of the fragrance, those tend to come up after the top notes have evaporated. And then finally, once that mid has transitioned and the fragrance has been sitting for a while, you transition into the base of that fragrance. And those are the ones that really stand out with you for the majority of the fragrance. Lesson number 2, fragrances are typically classified into fragrance families or different scent profiles. Some common fragrance profiles out there would be floral, oriental, woody, fresh, and one of my personal favorites, gourmand, and that's just to name a few. Really understanding what fragrance family you prefer can help you a great deal when it comes down to choosing a fragrance, because you know, if you're like me and you enjoy gourmand fragrances, the ones that smell like food, they smell edible, you understand that if you go to those types of fragrances before floral fragrances, you're probably more likely to find something you enjoy. However, I truly believe, as you can see, it is very healthy to have a wide range of fragrances within your collection. Not saying you need to have all of these, but you should have some variety. The third thing I want to know, I think, is important because a few weeks ago I was out and about in a store and I ran into a subscriber, and one of the sales associates started to talk to me, and we talked about this specific topic. It is this: fragrances can smell different on different people. In fact, it's more or less a general rule versus an exception. Due to a variety of reasons like pH level, how hydrated your skin is, and just the chemistry makeup, some of these fragrances, many of these fragrances are going to smell different on me than they do on you. Now, generally speaking, you're always going to be able to really take what a fragrance reviewer or someone is telling you to get a general idea of what this fragrance is like, but it's always going to be best to test it on your skin to get a true idea of longevity, projection, etc., as well as determine if you enjoy it. The fourth thing I want to talk to you about today happens to be fragrance concentrations. Now, generally speaking, if you go into your big box retailers, you're going to come across one of 3 different types of fragrances. EDP, or the parfum, or a parfum, which a parfum in that instance has the most of the fragrance oils attached. However, there are going to be next levels out there that sometimes you would get maybe an extract, a parfum. Those are going to be more housed within your niche fragrances if you go into big box retailers. And then you also have some of the lower end in terms of just the amount of fragrance oil there, which would be your eau de colognes or EDC, not your everyday carry. In those fragrances, you might find something like Axe, those are probably less than that as well, but those are generally speaking your range. The 5th thing you should know here is that fragrances can be layered. Not everyone should layer fragrances, although you can come up with some unique combinations. You got to understand what the fragrance profiles are, the families that we talked about earlier, to really understand which fragrances you should layer. However, if you are looking to layer fragrances, I've done videos on layering fragrances in the past, which I'll have linked and listed down below to kind of get you started. But there are also fragrance brands out there to try to make layering easy for you. Something that recently come to mind for me are Mind Games. If you go to their website, they'll have their fragrances listed in terms of what fragrances within their collection go well together. And then also Tom Ford Private Blend fragrances are made for that layering effect as well. There are a ton of other fragrance combinations that you can do. Again, I'll leave some linked and listed down below for you to check out, because layering fragrances can be amazing, but it also can be a nightmare. If you're new to the fragrance world, this next one might blow your mind, but your boy is here to help you out. Fragrances can change your mood. Yes, they can impact your mood a great deal. Fragrances have always been known to impact your emotions as well as your memories. For example, if you're using a fragrance that has lavender in it and it's really pronounced there, that may go a long way in helping you feel less stressed and more calm. On the flip side, you may have a fragrance that has notes of lemon or bergamot in the top, and that's going to make you feel more energized and ready to take on the day. On the flip side, you might come across fragrances within that gourmand space that include vanilla and chocolate. And some of those increase your desire for that cuddle buddy activity, that close encounter space, as they're a little bit more sensual, inviting, and attractive. And the final thing I think is important to know as this beginner guide into fragrances is that, well, fragrances can be greatly impacted by the seasons. In fact, if you're here watching on YouTube, then you'll notice that spring, summer, fall, winter, there are top lists for almost any occasion, and there are fragrances that go hand in hand with each. However, for those warm, spicy, cozy fragrances, those would likely do better for that colder or cooler weather where they'll be performing a little bit better and also be better received during those fall and winter months. Listen, I could go on and on about fragrances for days, and I have. Be sure to check out all of my videos on fragrances. If you're new here, I'm Big Beard B. If not, welcome back. Hopefully you subscribed and share this video with someone out there who could use this information. That wraps it up for my crash course into fragrances. These 7 things can help you greatly when it comes down to picking a fragrance, saving a ton of money, as well as saving some time to make sure you are selecting the right fragrances along the way. Comment down below. Let me know what fragrance profile you enjoy the most and what you've learned about fragrances overall. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.